Hi everyone, life is a journey. Over the next few minutes, I'll take you through my journey and how taking the leadership course at AGSM enabled me to make substantial leaps in both my career and personal life, and how it changed everything for me. The course contents encouraged me to have a conversation with myself to reflect on what my priorities in life were over the medium and longer term. This prompted me to think about how I could achieve them. I realized that at the end of the day, all I wanted was to make a positive impact on the world and the people around me. I developed a vision that I could make this impact by taking on the roles of a trusted advisor and an expert leader, and by developing and refining leadership skills aligned to these roles. To work towards my vision of growing into a role of an expert leader, I adopted the principles of pre-scripting and practice during presentation and meetings. This actually became a game changer for me. In the past, I had struggled to articulate my own thoughts and ideas during meetings. As I began scripting my key points and rehearsing them, I started to come across and be seen by others as a leader capable of influencing outcomes. In discussions, I started engaging in respectful inquiry. I made a conscious effort to consider what might be going on in others' heads, listening intently, and asking respectful, targeted questions. This allowed me to bring others on board with my ideas and help facilitate data driven and financially sound decision making across the whole organization. Over time, I learned to trust in the power of respectful inquiry and to understand that I didn't always need to give direction to be more effective as a leader. Being a trusted advisor meant that I had to foster high quality relationships with authorizing leaders to influence outcomes. I again leaned on the course recommendations on how to build those relationships. And once again, effective learning was a key part of my strategy. I consciously began paraphrasing and summarizing the inputs of senior management and other stakeholders, started asking thoughtful questions to better understand their perspective, and then gather feedback. I also looked for opportunities to engage in play with senior leaders, which pretty much meant interacting without a specific outcome in mind. For example, I made a pact with our company's managing director that we would both jump in ice pools on weekends and share photos with each other. Jumping in ice pools is not easy, but it enabled me to build high quality and trusted relationships with authorizing leaders across the organization, and in turn enabled me to make a substantial difference as a trusted advisor. These successes were only made possible on the back of conquering my own gremlins. This meant identifying my personal fixed mindsets and adopting a more growth oriented mindset, learning from experiences, staying in learning mode. This meant that I stopped attributing my performance to inherent talents and instead saw it as a function of effort, learning, skill development, and application of strategies. I began to reinforce the belief that leadership skills and behaviors can be developed over time through systematic and persistent practice. Over the past few years, I have engaged in experimental learning, applying one course concept at a time, developing these experiments that aligned with my leadership goals, gathering feedback, reflecting on outcomes, and distilling the lessons learned. Cultivating self efficacy through functional self talk had a surprising effect on me. Functional self talk primed my mindset. It also began breaking down my goals into small, progressively challenging steps and celebrating even the modest progress towards developing my leadership capabilities. I am now on the path of using experimental learning and developing the skills needed to assume the role of a strategic leader, someone who sees the bigger picture, identifies threats and opportunities, and drives strategic planning. I thank you for being part of my journey and wish you the best for your future endeavors.